Ryan, Brittany here. I am sitting outside at a little cafe, so I apologize if you see people walking behind me or hear noise from the street traffic just beside me. I'm hoping the audio um, works out pretty well. But, okay, so I did some research into the cities that are surrounding Langley, and I'll just kind of go through what I found out when I was looking at stuff. All right, so I know you had mentioned that Rogers, you said, was a gold mine. Really, initially, when I start doing these analyses, I look at the city's population size, because essentially what I'm doing is I'm getting leads from Google by building a website that I then rank to the first page of Google, as well as a Google Maps listing. So there's like two things going on the first page of Google. Really, to make it worthwhile, the population size has to be relatively substantial. Langley has a population of like 600 or 700, which that one's probably going to be a no-go. So I just skipped that. I didn't even look that up. But I did look up Rogers, which you said was a gold mine. And this is just a quick Google search: asphalt paving, Rogers, Arkansas. And I did some analysis on just look at the first three businesses that pop up. We don't count things like Home Advisor. Those guys are easy to beat. We look at, actual local companies, what your real competition would be like. And the first guy here is this Deco Paving. This is his website, and I use a couple tools, one called Majestic, which is here, and it just gives me an overall snapshot of how that website is viewed in the eyes of Google. Now, before I go over this, I'm going to go back. I have a little Google Docs here, and you'll see I have Tulsa highlighted, and I'll let you know why in just a few minutes. But when I'm doing this competitor analysis, what I'm looking at, three main things. There are other things that go into it, but three main things that I'm looking at when I look at a website is the domain age. Very old websites are going to be a lot harder to compete against than newer websites, because older websites have been around for a while and they have age trust with Google and the other search engines. I say Google because, that's the primary one that people use. But when I say Google, just know that Bing and Yahoo are also included. So domain age, content on the website. Those are the words that are written on the website about your services. So that content needs to be authoritative and informal. Google wants to serve up the best websites for its customers so that they keep coming back and using the Google search engine. So not only does that content have to be authoritative and informational, that means well written and covering the topic really well, answering questions about that topic that people might have. It also has to be robust, meaning that you're not going to get away with a couple of quick paragraphs. You need quite a lot of content. I never do, for instance, a home page less than 1,500 words. And the third thing is going to be backlinks. So what this is when other websites have a link to your website on their website. That's like a backlink. Those are votes of confidence in Google's eyes. Now, not every backlink is created equally. Some backlinks are actually bad. This is the part that has to be done and crafted very carefully. Now, very simply, you're looking at quantity of backlinks and quality of backlinks. You're going to have a million crappy backlinks that are not going to be as good as one really quality backlink from a highly trusted site. So we're going to look at all three of these things when we look at some of these competitor websites to see how we might be able to get you to the top and beating out these competitions and getting jobs in these areas. All right, so back to Rogers. We looked at this Deco Paving. When I looked at it, this right here, Trust Flow, that's just a rudimentary number that gives you a quick snapshot of how well this website is trusted by Google. 0 means, not really trusted at all. So you might be wondering, well, if they're not trusted at all, how are they, the first website that pops up when something like Asphalt Paving Rogers, Arkansas is typed in? That's because the competition is low, which is a good sign and good news for you as far as getting you a website up there ranking quickly and bringing in the leads and bringing in the jobs and bringing in the money, right? Yeah, so they have a trust flow of 0. And remember how we talked about those backlinks? They have 14 backlinks, 13 referring domains. That just means how many different websites those backlinks are coming from. And that's really, the referring domains is the number we kind of want to focus on. All right, and that was Majestic. And then I'm going to shoot to another tool called SEMrush. And both of these tools are free to a certain extent. They have, like a few free searches a day, I believe. So you're welcome to head on over to either of these websites and you can plug in the stuff and look it all up yourself if you'd like to. All right, so there's a lot of information on here, but we're only going to be looking at just a little bit of information. The organic search traffic is 69. That means there's roughly 69 people that are visiting or clicking on this website per month. So it's not really a whole lot. And then we can go down, and I already clicked it, so I'm just going to click the next tab over. And we can look at, okay, well, what are people typing in the search engines that get them to this website? And, mostly you can see their position, like General Asphalt Paving, their position number 77. That means they're like on page 7, almost 8 of Google. Here's one. Some of these keywords are I don't want to say junk, but they're not like money-making keywords. We want keywords that have the city name in it or the city and state in it. So concrete contractors, Rogers, AR. I know you do asphalt. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you do concrete as well, but we're just going to focus on asphalt today. You see volume here? It has a search volume of 30. So about 30 people per month are typing this exact search phrase in. Go back up there. There we go. Now we want to find words with like asphalt in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Control F tool here. And I just type asphalt in. It goes ahead and highlights all of the phrases with asphalt. Okay. So here we go. Rogers Asphalt. This could be the name of a specific company, but the Deco Paving is showing up first. But that has a search volume of 50, so not terrible. Asphalt contractors and site work. It's pretty general. There's no city name in it. Asphalt companies in Arkansas. They're ranking on the second page for that with a search volume of 30. Nothing that I'm seeing right now is blowing my wig back. There was literally only 2 keywords that they're ranking for with the word Rogers in it. Now, I would have to do a little more research into it, but my experience tells me that that just means that Rogers is maybe not the most, there's not a lot of demand for asphalt paving in Rogers. At least people are not necessarily going on Google and typing it in. If it's like kind of a small town, small city, and everybody sort of knows everybody, it might be more of like a word of mouth sort of thing. That might be how companies there are getting business. Maybe if you've got business there, maybe it's been a word of mouth thing, or you've done some flyers or other local type advertisement. But it doesn't look like Rogers is going to be a big like internet play city, which Rogers, I made a list here and I'll scroll back up. Rogers had a population of 66,000, which was one of the higher populated cities. You see 17,000, 85 Fayetteville, Joplin 50, Bartlesville 36, Bretonville 50, Springdale 80. But generally, the trend is probably going to follow this Rogers, Arkansas. And I'm going to save us a little bit of time here. I looked up two of the other companies out of Rogers. It just decreases. Like, for instance, this Wells Paving. They have, scroll back up here. I mean, they're the second ranking business in Google, and this tool says that they have 0 search traffic per month. So they've gotten as far as ranking number 2 organically in Google, and they have a search volume of 0. To me, this doesn't seem like a city that is worth going after. I would honestly advise against investing any money going after this city online anyway. Same thing, even worse for this one. So we are going to move on. Let's see. I looked up Fayetteville because they had a population of, I think, 80K. Asphalt Paving Fayetteville, and I looked up a few companies out of there. Not that one. And generally it was the same thing. To save us time, I'm not going to go through those websites, but pretty much the same thing. So kind of our last option within that hour and a half radius that you wanted to stick to was Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Florida's a lot different. I found that interesting how Tulsa jumps up to 400K, but the smaller cities around it are well under 100,000, even 17,000. So it's like either you're in a big city or it feels like you're out in the country in that area. So I was like, all right, well, let's check out Tulsa. It's a bigger city. A lot of times it's more competitive, so it's a little harder to get ranked there, but let's see what we have. All right, so same thing. I just typed in asphalt paving, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can see that we have our first 3 maps listings right here. We're going to check out what's showing up in the organic listings. And we have 3 local companies showing up. So let's take a look at those. All right, Tulsa, OklahomaAsphalt.com. They have a search traffic of 146 a month. That's pretty good. That's much better than the other cities. Let's see what's going on with their keywords here. All right. So let's scroll back up. I was already looking through this a little bit. So asphalt contractors, Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's a good, what we call keyword. Oh, right here. I don't know why it didn't highlight. Asphalt Tulsa, even better. A search volume of 110 a month. So there are 110 people per month typing in Asphalt Tulsa. So I'm going to go ahead and keep track of this quickly here. With my there we go. Plus, and we have Tulsa paving contractors at 70. So we're going to add 70 to our little calendar here, or our calculator, sorry. And let's see, what else do we have? Contractors in Tulsa. Oh, I know you have I think a contracting company, but if we're making a website specifically on asphalt, we want to skip things like that. Asphalt plant, we want to skip that. Tulsa builders, we want to skip that. American Asphalt, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm guessing that's another company in the area. Tulsa contractors. All right, so we had 2 pretty good keywords that we got. We know that website is ranking for at a total of 180 per month. All right, let me see something here real quick. It's still recording. My little recorder froze up. Hold on one second. I'm going to make a second video. I'm going to send you this, and I'm going to make another video. Just one second.